Good morning and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. I am your host, Down the Crypto TA. Just trying to get a couple of things done here, running behind just a little bit as usual. Bitcoin starting to see a little bit of a breakdown here on this 15-minute time frame from this regression line we have right here. It doesn't look too serious at the moment though. It could just simply be corrective. We'll look back over here at that. I don't really see anything. Got another trend line through here where I'll just be looking for price action to get a little bit closer over here. See if we can't get above this. Right now, you do have a little bit of higher low taking place here, but you can see how bear flaggy that, well, actually rising that looks. And usually when it looks like that, you drop. But not a lot has changed over here. Still, again, another rejection from this range right here, which is quite a bit of resistance through here. Quite a bit of resistance. If I actually put on let's see, a volume range. Just for those who care for volume ranges. Yeah, you can see. All right, so we're back to the point of control in this case, with the sell side liquidity being where the value area low is at the moment. We've taken this sell side liquidity. I have not moved this to represent this portion of liquidity right here. Don't really need to anyway. We know that this was taken right here. This is where we were looking for price action to finally get to and to get a little bit of a bounce up, but we are like hitting some major resistance through here. I'm really going to care more about that than I am about a value area low and the rest of it. Okay, so these areas that I have highlighted out, these are the levels that we need to be able to break through. We need to be able to get above this resistance. Then we need to be able to flip this one back into support as we did in this case right here to get the bigger push to the upside. Otherwise, I will continue to look downwards for Bitcoin, possibly coming down here towards this trend line here. I mean, if we're going to get this low, we may as well just be in here taking this sort semi-equal low liquidity right here. So price action does tend to come back to, around equal low areas and taking that liquidity. So that's something we'll look for. So don't be surprised if we break this trend line right here and then we're taking the liquidity from right here. If we can just protect this lower area right here, that'd be great. But this right here, this looks like fair game. This looks like fair game right here. This right here, if I just click on it, so 83,822, or we'll just 83,820, we'll just go 21, because that'll mean that the liquidity here has been taken. This is a Binance chart. We push out a little bit more. Nothing's changed in here. Nothing. Let me turn that off so I can see the actual one. Right here. Okay. So we're slightly above this the standard deviation 1 right here. This is what we really want to see, us getting back above the standard deviation 1. Also, if we can pull that off, then there's a chance that we can get in here to at least the 99.84. I think that'll actually have us touching that 50%, that 382 retracement that we actually never touched. We came really close to tapping that, but we didn't actually touch it. So there is a little bit of hopium I can tell right here from this weekly time frame. Do we get a little bullish too if we were to get it, because we would engulf this entire candle right here from last week. Check CME too, see what we're looking like on CME. Let's keep that daily chart in mind though. We're going to get more information off of that daily first before we do that weekly. Let me make sure with this. Yeah, so this kind of looks, like I said, this kind of looks corrective. Just looking at that, that really looks corrective. Um, so we could see ourselves pushing back up above this for anybody who's a trend trader, trend line trader. Just looking at this breakdown right here. And bears are in control, I think, across all time frames. Yeah, it looks a little bit corrective. We could still hit the ceiling, but it looks pretty corrective right here on this 15-minute time frame. Um, I haven't made any updates to the Ethereum or Solana charts. I can just tell you at first glance, at least off of the 15-minute time frame right here, Ethereum doesn't look as bad as Solana looks. Simply put, let me just push through here and go to a time frame that actually has some information. Bear flag here on the 4-hour time frame. Obviously, right here you can see between this chop right here and then this high right here, we do have some bearish divergence here on the 4-hour time frame. That means we could come back down this weekly level right here, and I think I did these as weekly levels. Let me just make sure. Yeah, these are weekly candle lows. Okay, so yeah. And if we end up taking out this low right here, probably look down here towards 27.16 right here. And you can easily do this on your chart too. It's just the weekly lows. They tend to work really, really well for support and resistance levels, which would put us back down here into our zone. As I continue to state, this is as much ranging as we've done. If we're not pushing into here or here, then we're coming back into this one right here. So that 2771, 2649, 2649, 2771, 2649. So yeah, I would be looking at that. That's pretty close to that. And then this one right here, 2620. Again, just weekly candle lows right here. See Solana real quick. This doesn't look too great. Right here, not on the 15-minute time frame. Got a rising dynamic cloud. Tends to push for bearish divergence. You're going to already see it right through, coming in right through here. So this tends to create bear divs. So be looking for a drop here on Solana on this 15-minute time frame. What am I getting off of the one sideways? No bear div on this 4-hour, which is decent. Monthly low. I don't think anything I said yesterday really changes too much here with Solana. But there was something else that I was looking at with you. I think it came from those weekly levels in here. Yeah. So if we're losing, right now we're still trying to get make our way back inside of this value area low right here, which yeah, that doesn't look too good. And the drop down, I still do consider that 108 and that 96 right here as a target. So we'll just say 108. That's that weekly level in here. That is going to drop us below the 0.886. Just do we take out this liquidity? That's going to be the thing. Which mm, in most cases, for let me see. That could be the low. I feel some kind of way about Solana being below 120, obviously. But And we're supposed to not take out this low. Um, but hopefully, I mean, this it just don't look good. And just bear in mind, my initial thoughts on Solana was if we lost there, that we would come in here to around. That's pretty bad. If the worst happens, the worst of the worst happens. But let me see. It was something else I was looking at, and I cannot for the life of me think of what it was. I don't know. It's I don't have anything for this Solana chart. It looks bearish. Basically, we just look bearish. Round and top. Don't have any fair value gaps through there. Closest one, at least off of this 15-minute time frame, is going to be this one right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight this right here, this bullish fair value gap. For now, we're just breaking market structure. I will set an alert on this one for the upside. Oh, that to be green. And then I will set an alert on this one right here to the downside. The Solana is so, in the bucket that it's better to look for a long on it. The lower it drops, the more enticing longs are going to be looking for it. So, all right, I'm going to get off of that. Let's take a look over here at some of the stuff that we were trading yesterday. See if there's anything decent that's going to come into play. I'm going to start here with Dusk. Because yesterday I was trying to get this dust trade right. I tell you what I ended up doing. Because I was talking about a real mean reversion here on Dusk yesterday, and it did get that real mean reversion. The only thing is I had to drop the low. So on stream, I know I had the low just below this fair value gap right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and delete that fair value gap. And it broke this fair value gap, but I moved my low. Sorry you weren't here for that. I moved my low down here to this pivot right here just because I could see that mean reversion had a strong chance of playing out. And so I just kept the trade open, just moved my stop on it. And, I ended up winning that trade for 93.92% up to here. And that's why I finally got out of it. So that worked out pretty good. I thought it had a chance to continue up. It didn't. It just didn't. I'm going to drop this, get that out of the way. It just didn't. But it ended up being a pretty decent trade. I did, yeah. Is there anything for us today? It's actually falling off pretty hard today. It doesn't look too bad through here, though. me take a look at and I added a MACD back in here too, just kind of trying to see like some relevancy to everything. Yeah, it doesn't look too good on the 1 hour time frame. 15-minute time frame might give us something else. I don't think I want to play around with Dusky too much though. So let's take a look at something else. I ended up shorting River. I know yesterday I said I was a little scared of shorting River, and we were looking at a position. It was on River using this Bybit chart. The position would have been right through here, which was closer to the highs in here. I changed charts. I started looking at some of the other exchanges, and I got a better view on what River was actually doing as opposed to using this Bybit chart because they do not look the same. So I went to Blowfin's chart and I looked at Mexi's chart, which gave a different view. You can see how different the charts look because I was scared to take a trade on this thing yesterday, but I ended up coming in taking this short right here on it. And I just closed it out before I came on stream. I had just closed this out. So I was looking at the 1 hour and I put a couple of notes in here. Although I don't like this 15-minute time frame, I think we probably could get something off of the 1 hour time frame. I'm going to be looking right here around the golden pocket and then right here where we have this daily level right here. Now we're coming into another daily level, which means we break this one. It's kind of bearish a little bit. I was expecting for this to fail right here too because we're well underneath the cloud now, which makes it, more bearish. But on this chart right here, I can see the cloud rising. And again, whenever that cloud starts rising, it makes a certain kind of shape. And I'm used to identifying what that looks like. I call it a thunderbolt. But anyway, we're well up under it now. The closer it starts to get towards price action, the better. Sometimes it doesn't always do that. But right now, yeah, just gonna be kind of watching about this golden pocket and then this daily low here at 46.80 for a potential entry in. And got one bounce off of this trend line through here for that last push it got yesterday to the upside. So I'm going to be looking to take a long on this. I'm going to show you on the 1 hour why I got a better view. On the 1 hour, this portion right here looks like it could be corrective. I don't like any of this right here. This is really, I don't know, crappy kind of project to mess around with anyway. I don't know how it managed to do all of, yeah, straight up bear div. Straight up bear div. Let me go ahead and set an alert on this. So we can come back to it if that alarm right there goes off. And I just kind of keep an eye on it too around this golden pocket. But all through here, it's like bearish divergence. Price does tend to come back in and eat up that bearish that divergence. So keep our eyes on this for a potential long entry to the upside. It pays well when you do manage to get it. Again, this is another little daily low right here, but golden pocket is really close to it. Some slight bullish divergence trying to come in. There was a little bit of slight bullish divvy right here. If I take a look at the RSI, you can see very slight higher low right here. And it looks like it's trying to do it right here too. No follow through between this yellow and this blue. The blue should be flipping above this yellow. Bitcoin is doing the same thing where it wasn't really getting that follow through. So every time it just breaks up above this yellow and it breaks back down, it's a bad sell. And that's what we kept doing yesterday on Bitcoin. It needs to have follow through. Doesn't get that, it's crappy. It's crappy. You can see right here, it barely followed through, and it was this big gap between these two. I never liked that at all. It's wedging in here, so we probably got something. So we'll look back at this river. Santos. Santos looks corrective. Now we might get something off of this right here. So I'm just waiting on some sort of a break on this one right here before I consider it. But this looks corrective. So another Santos long could be in play. I don't think I took another position on Santos. No, it was just that one. So I'm gonna look back at Santos for a position. Power. As soon as the stream ended, I did take another power position, and that was the power position right there. That was because we came back up above a trend line that we had in here, and then right here, you can see we left our gray zone and we started to flip green as we got that break above that trend line that we had got the break down below. So that's the only reason why I took that one. Looks pretty juicy right now. Don't really see any bearish divergence either. We the other time frames look pretty good. I don't see a reason that we need to look for a short on it. Oh, hold on. I set an alert right here. It's too high up for me to want to take a long on it right now. This is already in play, so I don't want to mess with it right now. But if it pulls back enough, then we can take a long on this one. And once it gets in here, then we can maybe come back and look at it and entertain a short position. I just got these trend lines in here just at these little pivot points right here. Just see what we might put in some bearish divergence. This one looks pretty good. Rose, I did post yesterday on this little, we didn't finish playing out the move. I was saying that it would be a good short if Rose got back into this golden pocket off of this long that we were taking yesterday. Did lock in the profits on this, discussed that on stream. But before I left stream, I said, hey, if Rose gets back into this golden pocket right here, that could be a good short. I looked for an SFP, didn't quite make it. So I went back in and I posted, hey, head and shoulders on Rose. Head and shoulders on the 15-minute time frame. So if anybody caught that, then they got a nice little short here to the downside. I didn't post a entry or anything like that because this shoulder right here was already in play. The neckline just had not been broken yet, and that's something that you could do on your own. Hitting the liquidity down through here. I didn't see a reason to do anything with this one just yet. Not yet. It's trying to hold these lows. It's really close in here. So we might get something off of this once this liquidity gets taken. If not, let's see where we're at in fiat retracement. Okay, so we are, I think we got the same bounce in here yesterday. Let's look down here towards the 786. We'll check out the 786. Or let me see, let me do it like this. All right, golden pocket. You know what? I just rather make my life easy. Okay, failed swing the first time. We'll see if we get an SFP here. If we're going to roll down here towards this 786, and look to get long on this. Let me see. Just set an alert on that. Not yet. It's not crossing up. I did say crossing up. Could have sworn I said crossing up. That's what it reads. You read greater, go greater than. Okay, that alarm is not going to work right. It's not going to work right. It's a blow fin chart. I like Rose. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kill this alarm because this is going to be annoying. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take a, we're so close to taking this liquidity. I'm going to go ahead and take it. We might run into some resistance right about here. Might run into some resistance. Just going to put a $sign on this. Might run into some problems right about here. Some slight resistance, okay? But I'm going to jump in on this one. All right, I am in on Rose. Go ahead and set up the long. I'll just do it from where it is now. Let me see what that looks like right there. And then, of course, we want to be able to get through here. And if we're getting above this, then we're definitely flipping the trend. That's a 510. I'm going to have to start this out with a 3-1. I'm going to have to. It's always my signature move is to start it out with a 3. I'm going to drop the golden pocket because I know we're here. And I'm just going to leave the 786 in here. Be a little less noise on the chart. Now if we get back above here, I think it's here. Yeah, if we can get back above here, then we're actually, if we get back above here, then we're back above the, I think this 4 hour. Yeah, we're back above the 4 hour low. Then we can start looking at that 4 hour high. Let's see. I saw some things that were looking pretty good, but it's a little bit too late on those. Don't want to touch VBV right now. It is underneath this cloud. Could could look for a short if it pushes back into here. Maybe a rejection here around 341, something like that would be enough of a pullback to enough of a correction to look for a short. Let me add that back in this case. No, that's too high. If it does that, then it's probably flipping. Uh, no, hold on. What did I delete? I'm not interested. We talked about BVV yesterday. Yeah, because I didn't want to take any shorts on this one right here yesterday because it was putting in bullish divergence down through here. I didn't like that. Um, this one might be a little cooked for now. Um, I'm gonna skip past that. Let's see. Monero was looking pretty. Nope. Let me move past Monero. Well, this was that Friday setup, and I said the one from Friday, and I said I really don't trust the stuff from Friday. It's doing okay so far. A little bit of bearish divergence trying to come in here on Monero on this 15-minute time frame with this little bear flag. I did notice this, sort of bear flag, but you know who else had a bear flag and they pumped straight through it was Hyperliquid. It was hype. That looks good. Wish I'd been here for this yesterday. Missed that. Let's see, 1 hour. 1 hour looks like it's trying to come back up pretty good. That might actually work. It hasn't got follow through yet, but an expansion looks like it might be coming into play for Monero right here. I can tell you right now, I said I don't trust this. If you trusted it and you did it, then you're safe. Might be about to get an expansion, so this could be looking to go higher, break straight through this. Uh, you can call it a leading diagonal if you want to. Looks like a bear flag to me, but this is curving down. This is looking to break out. I'm gonna put on a Bollinger. That's gonna tell me a little bit more of what I'm seeing in here. As you can see what I mean about no follow through. You see how it didn't follow through here? It tried, it failed, it called the breakdown, and then it stayed like that. It's a little bear flagging. It's not bad though. Let's see. Yeah. Even the Bollinger suggests so. So I am right about a potential expansion, but it could fail like it did over here. If you were to take this from here, your stop loss would have to be it would have to be this 474. hold on, is this 474? Let me see. If you're tempted to take this thinking that it was going to get an expansion, yeah, about that 20 SMA would have to be your stop. And I would just keep it light, portion size, all that stuff. I would keep it light. Leverage, keep it light. Um, if you were to do this right here, I don't really like the bear flaggy type thing, or just wait to see if it does do the expansion outside of this top line, this top one right here. I'm gonna just slide this up a little bit like that. That's 467.60. Yes. So you could maybe want to do something like that too. Um, I'm not going to touch this one. If it breaks out, then I'll take it. Right now, I'm going to sit on the sideline on this Monero. I'll leave this right here. Let's just see how that goes. It's not, I don't know if I want to do that. They all seem to have the same situation right here. A little bear flaggy type situation. Probably looks like it wants to get an expansion over here too, and then it just doesn't. This one looks less likely than Monero. Let me look back at Monero. Monero breaks above though. I will give it a chance. Look at Dash. I don't know why everybody's doing this. Everything is doing this. I apparently was looking at the daily Bollinger through here, which might have changed a lot. I remember discussing price action coming back to the 20 SMA. I said that usually when you're extended like that, you come back to the 20 SMA. Let me see where that is at right now. And then I think I got that on. Let's take a look here. It's at the 20 SMA. It's at the 20 SMA. I did the Bollinger, the 20 SMA. Tried to get a break above. This is set for a 4. Change this to a daily. Losing my voice already. Okay, daily low, daily high. Looks a little bear flaggy right here. If it drops back down here again, maybe just takes the liquidity reclaimed. It could be a good long position. If not, then I would definitely look at the 786. This could be a good place to actually get long from 786. Stop loss just below here on Monero. On Dash, I'm sorry, on Dash. That's a pretty huge drop. So maybe let it break first and then come back. That way the stop doesn't have to be too big of a deal. Got a FEG through there, got a FEG through here. Efficiency field, something like that. Or I can just bring it down, something more like that. And then we would have some issues with the lows in here. If it does do that, it's going to be a problem with the lows through here. But if it gets through that, then you can catch a runner and look for price action to continue up. And that's just on the 4. So we'll look at it possibly coming down here, or if it simply takes the liquidity off of this low right here and set it just slightly below that there, see if that's going to make more sense. But it did make its way back to the mean, which is good. I'm gonna go back out here on a 15-minute time frame. And that's if this bear flag situation is going to break down on it. And this give us setup here on Dash, so we can see the 2 that we're looking at. We can even bring this in some more. That's kind of huge right there. We'll bring it in some more. You got a runner possibly if it gets above this daily level. I'm gonna have to put this back on. Hold on, let me see that again. 15. Yeah, if it loses this trend line right here, we'll roll over. Solana. It's breaking that high. Uh, Yeah, just got this bear div too. Slight bullish divvy. They're trying to squeeze the price up. I don't like it from where it is. If it comes down, I'm interested. And through here, I'm just not on Dash. Let me come back up here. I know that pump was doing pretty good, and hype was. You can see how hype is doing. Hype had hype had this yesterday when we looked at it. Hype had it, but it was showing some bullishness through here. But hype was looking like this yesterday. So it just goes to show you how, even though we saw it on, what were we looking at? Whatever it was, we were just looking at that we saw it on. It might still break above it. Yeah, was playing market structure breaks yesterday. Let's see if I can't just see it from here. Oh no, this looks good. This looks good. Like I don't think that there's a too late entry on this. RSI is like a 80, which means it's really strong. I'm not gonna get into saying it's overbought. Looks really strong. Looks like any pullbacks be continuation to the upside. That's what that indicates. Uh, I just have to wait for a pullback though. Need a pullback. We'll probably get a bear div here soon. Look for a pullback here on hype, and then this is just starting to break out again. I don't know why we neutral. Let's see. Hype pump. Sec dash Chili's up 7.1%. Aster 4.4. Solana alarm just went off. I don't know what Solana's doing though. Rain Pepe is up 2.1%. Ada Ave. I like Ave. And it's in the red. Doesn't look too good. Hmm. I'm not liking it. I don't see anything really, to be honest. We missed most of these. Pump looks good. It's consolidation. Pendle. Pendle might be a play. Yeah. Pendle might be a play. Showing a little bit of momentum through here. There's a few minutes before this 1 hour candle closes. Let me see what it looks like on a 15-minute. A little bit oversteamed. This doesn't look bad though. A little bit of a double bottom, some equal low liquidity. Maybe it takes that liquidity, and then there's a reason to get long on it. Struggling around the 20 SMA, so it must just starting to come back inside of a Bollinger breakdown. That's what it looks like. Before I do that, yeah, it looks like it might have it got a squeeze breakdown right here, and it's trying to correct a little bit. It just hit the 20 SMA or something. All right, so there's our 20 SMA, came up standard deviation. This doesn't look bad. This look like it could get a move to the upside after a correction right here. So let's just say they come in and take this equal low liquidity. Be looking for it to hold. Let's see, take this equal low liquidity. Let's set this right underneath that. That's not bad. 0.58. That's not bad at all. And then we look for it to get back into these lows in here. That's a little bit more. I still start, take things for a 3-1 and then let the rest of it run and forget it. But this doesn't look bad at all. Let's give this a shot. Not financial advice, of course. See about this. I really hate for it to break that back down below this point right here. Maybe it doesn't want to break back down below this point, but I do like the little equal lows in here. Make sure I set this on this low. Why do I not feel like I'm getting this low? All right, Pendle. Just trying to hold it. I still like this. positive MACD cross. MACD is still sitting down here kind of low though. So maybe we can get this. Let me check back over here on this and see how this ended up. I was doing 26% down. This is holding. That's holding. Still holding this. Yeah, this is holding. Break structure right here. Slide this down here. Somewhere where I can easily see it. So we got some possibilities through here. We got some, at least 3 right now. I don't want to be overwhelming. This is going to break out. I feel like I'm going to FOMO. I feel like I'm going to FOMO. I like the fact that it's holding. Let me kill that Solana alert. I like the fact that it's holding. Might not get this. Just held this high. Oh, might not get it. You can see. Well, no. I'm gonna do a really small position size. I don't know how to not FOMO right now. I don't know how to not FOMO. Let me see. Pendle. It's a bad thing to do. I could just say no. I can just say no. I can just say no. mm, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna cut my risk to this low right here. And then I guess I'm gonna have to re-enter if if it does play out what I initially was looking at. I'm kind of itching to get into this thing ahead of time. That's not good. I should just stick to the. I should just stick to it or just say I don't take it unless it breaks out and then jump in. I'm gonna do it while that candle looks like crap too. I do a 10x. You know what? I took it. I decided that if I'm wrong and it comes down here and does this, I'll take one more entry on it and then I'll just take a L if it breaks a low, which it doesn't look like it's gonna break this low, but it was kind of premature for me to take it right here. Um, I just had to. I didn't have to. I really needed to be disciplined on that. So be disciplined. Personally, you should be disciplined and just wait to see if it comes down here and takes out this equal low right here for a better entry. I can see what we're struggling around right now. We need to get above this. Change this to a basic. It's a bad idea to FOMO, but I took it. Yes.
That medicine therapy. I thought it's not drowsy. That's dosing me off.
You should get some sleep. All right. Very bad idea. All right, let me put this back on. Start looking at River. River got a nice little candle, bottoming candle on that 1 hour time frame. I'm gonna look back at River real quick here. See 1 hour. See this little bottoming wick right here. I think we mentioned that, but the golden pocket was sitting right here, but it got a nice little bottoming candle right here. It hasn't confirmed anything on this 1 hour time frame. It does look corrective on the 1 hour time frame. At least this portion of this looks corrective. Uh, Following the little head and shoulder, it got. And let me see what that measure move was supposed to be for it too. Starting to look pretty decent. Um, I like that candle after taking that liquidity right here from that daily level. I just want to see what the head and shoulder measure move for this thing was. Okay, so it is down here to this golden pocket, and then we're looking at this daily right here um, as an additional measure. Now, River, as far as I can tell from this 1 hour too, though, it is like still in between standard 1 and 2. So it is still in a bearish environment right here. Um, Change that to be something more like this right here. Yeah, this is what we need. This is how we should be. Then that way I can take this away. It's about us getting above this high. This. Just drop it on this one. Nah. All right. This gets one more red candle. I'll move that break to here. If it doesn't, then we're looking for a break outside of here, um, as opposed to getting down here towards this golden pocket and potentially that daily level right there. Bitcoin came back up that trend line. Kind of figured it would, because it looked corrective. So what else was I looking at? Was it Santos, which hasn't made a decision in here? I can still see a river too for anybody that's interested. I'm just kind of giving it a little bit of time right now. There's nothing. There's no update to it just yet. We just flipped off of that chart. Let me see. Let me see if we had already hit that struggle area I mentioned on Rose. If we came to it yet? Nope, not yet. Um, not yet. We ended up getting a little bit of a bear div right here. You can see that slight bear div right there on Rose. So we're still chopping about to this level right here. Closing in on that inefficiency. That inefficiency is right here. So we're filling in that inefficiency. So no strong momentum just yet, because if we did, then we'd be leaving behind some sort of a gap, and we're not doing that yet. We had a little bit of a gap there, but yeah, we're already filling that back in. Let me check that ATR. Okay, so we'll be looking to break the ATR up. We don't have anything on the lower. Hmm. We don't have to keep clicking off of that background color. This is just confirming, the low volatility right here because we have this mother bar and these inside candles right here. So we have this inside range just reconfirming um, that squeeze for the break, either the break to the upside or the break to the downside, which I'm leaning towards a break to the upside. I was curious to see what it looks like on this time frame. This exchange by bit. So we got that slight bullish divergence through here. It did still have that, so daily low. 6 minutes left on this candle. I think that's enough time for me to move it like this. It hasn't broken a low yet either, so ugh, it didn't validate this. Sometimes it can look strong and not be, which means this breaks to the downside on it, which would put this back down in here somewhere, possibly even. Uh, yeah, this was the trade I took yesterday. Now that's old. That's old. It's when it came back up this trend line right here. Let me drop that. Lines. Everywhere is a line. I don't really need that. Look at. Make sure I just hide it for now, so I don't have lines everywhere. Still got the higher lows, so if it breaks this right here, then it's putting in a lower low. This is guaranteed to break down, and again, probably be somewhere back down here between this golden pocket 786, where we can start to look for a long off of um, Santos. I should probably set an alert on it instead, because I can't put an alert on that. Just put alerts on it. Check back on these two again. Slide this one underneath. Just change this to an alert. You can still see the number over there. I mean, likely we can get that golden pocket daily level. So, excuse the alarms as they continue to go off here. Take a look at some bubbles while I'm waiting around. I tell you, that was I looked at how this got that move up, and it had a lot of weakness in the move to the upside. The initial move to the upside, you could see some points that it had some strength to it, and then other times, it had no follow through, but it managed to push through on that one. So proud of Pump, trying to look better. Hype, get Jupiter. That. Pepe looked like it might have came up a little bit more. Still hasn't changed any structure in here. Did get some higher lows, but no higher high just yet. Once it gets a higher high, I think it's worth looking at. But right now it does have some higher lows, just no higher high. I don't even know what they're using. They're using the daily. Okay. take a look at PayPay, but um, where's PayPay? I probably passed it. I think this is the correct PayPay. I don't like a 15-minute time frame on PayPay. Bear dibs on 15-minute. Let me see what I was looking at. If that was a daily chart. Santos. Let me just see that real quick. Breaking down. Yep, Santos is breaking down. I'm gonna go back to PayPay. And I bet a whole rose ain't breaking down. That bear did. Yeah. 11 minutes on that candle. Rose is dropping a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. What was that at? PayPay. Where is PayPay? I'm gonna bring PayPay down here so I don't have to keep looking for it. Put it right here. Yeah, bearish divergence on PayPay below the cloud. Doesn't look good. I guess this is the right PayPay. Yeah, this is the right PayPay. Oh, that's jumpy. Why does it look so choppy? Yeah, it's still making lower highs and lower lows. That doesn't change until now. If it comes back up here, because it has enough to the downside to say if it comes back up here, then it changes the market structure. It's holding here. Repeatedly held through here before getting that break below it. So this is probably a value area low right here. So let's just say it comes back into here and it looks to hold in here. This is just the zone that PayPay was ranging inside of. I think that, yeah, that was a zone it was ranging inside of. And then this is the second zone right here. Pepe tends to range inside of. Yeah, rolls are slipping. Um, Close enough. I care for this one more. But yeah, let's see if that stopped rolls out. Did I tell you? No, it didn't. Okay. I personally didn't put the stop loss on it. That's why I had to check. I should go ahead and do that. I'm doing it from, make sure it's a below fan chart. It is. I think I used the Bollinger to make that decision. I used the 1 hour, right? Yeah, I used the 1 hour. Go ahead and set my stop. Oh my god. I didn't even take the position correctly. I had it set for amount of rows instead of amount of money, so I'm really not gonna be losing a dang thing. I was wondering why it wasn't coming up right for me to take a loss. Uh, yeah, I literally did not take that position correctly. It's almost like I'm not even in this position for rows. I still like this chart better. Yeah, I absolutely entered the position wrong. I'm gonna switch over to a 1 hour time frame. It just looks better. It looks more accurate. Let me take away some of this other stuff in the chart. I'll take this line away. I know that we broke it. Uh, and remember, this is the golden pocket right here. If you're already in rows, I want to say cut it. Yeah, you can cut it. It's the 15-minute didn't look shabby, but I don't like the one, so you can cut it. I'm going to trade the 1 hour. .1 hour might mean we trade the 786. At the 786, we have these highs through here that could hold that support. And then you can see right here, it held that support right in here. It was resistance right here, but we may be able to get something better out of this level through here as opposed to this right here. So this looks more secure. So I'm gonna come back to that. Make it a safer entry. I'm not feeling it. Um, Chip back on Pendle. See what that was looking like over here, which looks like it has a better chance. So not quite. This Santos is getting on my nerves. It's just bouncing up and down that low. I'm gonna kill that noise. Um, Let me break that low. Okay, that range that we were in, that's fine. I just know that we were coiling, so that's gone. I still like this better. I like this better. This looks okay here on the 15-minute time frame. When I examine this time frame right here, it doesn't look shabby. Um, if it, you know, it's going to hit this first. If this comes up, some sort of a, we got the fast signal through here right now, which is that green. So I like this better right now over rose. MACD hasn't turned yet. I know I was talking about the equal lows down through here. We do have a bit of a inverted hammer candle right there. So that's kind of strong still. Like I said, if it does do that, I'm going to add to it and then I'll cut it if it's a loser. It looks better. Santos went up 1.67. It went up. Kill this alert. Still not going to change that. I will change this because of where the Bollinger is sitting. Turn that alert off though, because that's annoying. It's still putting a low. Still like Pendle. This can actually push all the way up to here, at least to here. It can, which is gonna put it back above here. It's just not ready. I'm not ready to take the Roche trade, and I made a mistake with it too. I take that as a sign. Take that as a sign. It came back up the low. That's about it so far. That's the first time it did take that liquidity. Mm. It's the 1 minute. Just check on Bitcoin. I don't have to put you on a chart. I need to look at it. 3 minutes. I'm assuming that the 3 minute actually flips if Rose gets above 1756. It looks like right now. If Rose gets above that point, I'm talking from a below fin exchange because that's what I trade on. I'm assuming that the 3 minutes gonna flip based on that, and then the 5 minute might flip based on 1758, something like that. I can see how it turned, back to red. So it must be that 1756, which means it's still going sideways at best right now through here. 1, 2, 3, still sideways within that golden pocket range. I'm not Pendle, but River did a double bottom on the 1 hour, a double bottom, tweezer bottom. That's what I just saw on that. And Pendle looks like it's actually pushing. So Pendle looks like it's actually pushing, and it is. Um, River did a tweezer bottom right there. So there's some decency to this daily level. Even though we haven't hit that golden pocket, there's still some decency to this daily level. I'm just going to do a little something here with Pendle. Pendle, I keep saying Pendle, but with River. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm going to give that tweezer bottom a little chance. I can be very wrong, so don't follow me. I like it. I should have snagged it when it did it. Instead, I kind of like that. We're still, you know, this is still going down. It hasn't even started to curve up just yet. I'm using a 3x leverage on Rivers, so I'm okay. Um, but you do tend to lose more um, with this one um, if it continues to move down, and you make more if it moves up. It's one of those tokens. But I'm doing a 3x and keeping it light. And these are just the notes that I did earlier this morning on this. Hit the top side of that resistance and just switch over. Yeah, Rose still not confirming. Santos powers, everything turning red, 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 red. Except for hype. Good old pumperoni. I've been sending pump for several weeks now. For those that don't know, I shared that I was down on this thing a lot, but it's a very low leverage position that I've just been sitting in over time, thinking that for some reason it's a 2x leverage on it, thinking that for some reason it's going to do this big pump, this big rally or something that hasn't happened yet. I'm out of the red now because at one point I was close to being liquidated. Because, like I said, I've been sitting in pump for several weeks. It's supposed to be a long term hold. And I think I was down like 89% at one point, but it did not stop me out. Um, and now I'm in the green. So that tells you like just where I decided to enter this thing at a long time back. I did the same thing with Doge yesterday. I dropped the leverage on Doge and I entered a position on that. Now I do have a stop loss in place for Doge. I didn't put one in for pump because it wasn't something that I was really caring about. Um, its pump was like a either I'm gonna win on this trade or I just get liquidated. And that's how I've left it. And it came real close. But I'm still riding it. I said Doge, I did put a stop on. Um, but I switched that leverage down really low on Doge. And Doge is the situation I shared with you yesterday. And now I moved the entry off of that Doge yesterday because it triggered this what we were looking at on Friday. So I moved it because it had triggered it in, I think from back over here or something. I think I just slid it over and I didn't raise it up. I don't know. Maybe I did raise it up to here, but I went ahead and entered it anyway. And like I said, I just dropped the leverage all the way down on it, assuming that, it's going to get a break to the upside here. Looks like crap right now. And I think that stop was, yeah, the stop is just underneath this level right here. Uh, but yeah, I do have the stop on this. And I think yesterday I just slid it over because I think it triggered the position automatically in here or something. Yeah, it had triggered the position. I don't think we set this until Friday though. Yeah, no, not that Friday. Yeah, it was that Friday. That Friday, it triggered it. I said I don't really trust the Friday loans that we were looking for, but I'm in it. I'm in it. I don't even know if I'm up or down on it. So I was right about that 3 minute having to be above that number in order to trigger it. At 3 minute at least. This can be moved to here. I just don't like it right now. Did take that little liquidity though. For anybody that decided to hold on to it. I am in Pendle. I am in River. I'm taking a chance on River here. So like I said, no momentum shift has happened on River. So I'm taking a chance. Rose, I'm just trying to get some proof. And I haven't done bad with trading Rose. I don't think I've taken a bad trade on Rose. Just so far I haven't taken a bad trade on Rose. I don't have a stop on my Pendle. Not when I'm saying Pendle, not Pendle. I mean River. I did not put my stop on my River. I need to because if it goes against me, it's going to be terrible. So like on Blowfin, I guess it's going to be like 51, 29. So I said 51.29. Yeah, 51.29. I'm just going to set it on this right here. And bear in mind, my leverage is only 3x. My position size is small also. So I could afford to do that. And at least get that high. Puts it into these lows right here. I'm gonna reduce it to a 3 since I am looking at those lows. That's about on point. And I think when we looked at the ATR, it was above. It's probably, I think the ATR was above here. I don't think it's here. Okay, it's all the way up here. It'll drop. I'll leave the ATR in. It'll drop though. Actually, I'll check. I'll turn the Bollinger Band back off. Back on. And take that off. Solana breaking below that low. there. Still putting in lower lows, no higher highs. Still putting in lower lows there on Solana. Let's see if this could be the point where we change the market structure here on River, but we do have to get above this point right here. So please mind the alarms. We want to see it close above here. We don't want to just see it take the liquidity from here, but we need to see it close above here, validating the change of market structure in here. Rose still chopping about. So nothing there. Pendle still pendling. And we talked about that rejection right there at the zone that we do need to get above. That resistance and get a breakout, some sort of an expansion in here if we're going to expand to the upside. I confess that I am in the pendle setup, even though I know I was looking down here. I just felt a need to buy in, and I'm willing to add if it does come into here. Otherwise, I've already discussed that I am in the pendle trade. Watch me win or watch me lose. And Rose, I'm trying to give it some time to let me look at this chart. Trying to give it some time to look better. It's below fans chart right here. The 1 hour is just giving me a little bit of pause. It's the 15-minute I like because we're at this level in here, which is the golden pocket. We did manage to get in here and take that little bit of liquidity. I like that too. I said you could cut this though because of the 1 hour time frame, and I still stand by that. If it changes in here for any reason and it's not just going sideways, I do think that maybe it'll hit this 786, and that's going to be a better entry. And so far, like I said, I haven't taken any bad trades on Rose. Everything's pretty stable right now. Looking back over here at Bitcoin's price chart here, we're still hanging on to the standard deviation 1 right here on this 1 hour time frame. It does put in another low right through here. If we start to lose that 87,576, we could start to see some sort of an expansion. We talked about the rising low through here. But it did manage to come back above it for a second. It really should be something more like this, just because I know that it starts to break below here, then it could possibly expand here with the Bollinger Band. So just bringing that down makes more sense. Otherwise, you'll get chopped out thinking that you've actually lost the level or something, and you didn't. And I turned this into a rising formation, kind of like this, but this can be set like this, which is pretty much the same, at least until this changes. Let me So it looks more so something like this right here, right now for Bitcoin. I'm going to go ahead and account for this liquidity right there. You can see how we didn't manage to get back inside of that bear flag. Just kind of chopped it. If you were doing a line chart, you can see it never had a chance. Right through here on a line chart. Make sure that's right. Okay, on a line chart, it would suggest that we're holding. You should make a reference on this text. That suggests we're holding. This says we never came in. I'm going to change this to look like that. See how Bitcoin's going to affect the rest of the market today too. Take a look at Bitcoin dominance. It's not really up on this daily. I like to look at it from here. We're still sideways on the weekly. Apparently, we're still above this weekly level through here too. I don't know why this is not looking like the chart I typically use. It should, but it doesn't look like it right now. I don't know why. Okay, there's the channel. I'll add this in here just in case it just in case this becomes an IF. in case it comes back in here at some point and uses it as support. Could do that. Right now, I don't see anything in here. I mean, it's up a little bit, so let's see how Bitcoin moves the rest of the market. This river looks like it's trying to change structure, I believe. So Bitcoin dominance slightly in the green, slightly in the green. And this was supposed to be my daily chart, so my apologies there. Daily. Sorry, I got alerts going off everywhere. I don't know why I have a Rose alert going off, but let me find it so I can kill it. It might have been the one. We killed this one. It must be something old in here. I don't think that there are any more rows now. No. No more Rose alerts. And that's not the right chart. This is. I should probably turn off that River 1 2. River is going to be exactly what I said you need to know on River is the closure above here is going to change the market structure from these lower lows, lower highs into a higher high. And then we might get a little bit more in here, at least to come back into the lows in here for this. It did not close above here. The alarm went off. I'm going to go ahead and turn this alarm off because I don't want it to keep disturbing the peace. So I'm going to turn it off and I can see it here. Once we get the close above here, I'm going to shrink in the stop loss. Again, it requires a close. Everything else is liquidity. With the wicks, it's not a close. Otherwise, they might want to come back down here for my behind for that tweezer bottom, double bottom, as you can tell from here. Tweezer bottom if you're looking at the 1 hour. Rose might have just put in a higher low. It's not confirmed yet. I'm just looking at the 15-minute time frame. I thought I turned that off too. Solana. Oh my gosh. Let me turn that off. Yes. Which means for Rose, so I'm looking at this right here. I really don't classify that. I consider this to be one move to the downside. It's just something about that though. But we'll see. I don't consider that. I consider this, but not really this. I'm not going to put alarms on this. Lord, these alarms going to drive me and you crazy. And there she goes. We talked about that too. It tried to do this little fake move right here on us. This little fake move. Tried to do that little fake move on us. And this showed that it stopped out right there too. And there she breaks. There she breaks. Because it had already closed below here, which showed that it put in a lower low. And then it tried to do this number right here. So we got the golden pocket. I really would like this. Let's see. I'm not interested right now, Santos. That was a big momentum shift. All right, Rose. I'm going to put the three that we're trading close together. So it's Rose. It's Pendle. Which I already entered, as I said. I already entered Pendle. I was just willing to add in here. It's trying. She trying. And then River. This is the other one we're trading. 7 minutes on this close right here. Already in it, of course. Rose about to get my money. For anybody who didn't exit, you didn't have to pay no fee. But it did not it didn't execute properly for me when I did enter in here off of the long trade anyway. It used amount of rows instead of amount of money, and so it didn't execute me right. All right, standard deviation 1 there for river rows. I mean 1 and 3 lit up. I believe 5 minutes should light up right around in here, and then probably 15 minutes gonna light up too. The market structure does change right in here for me. Um, and I think that we also looked at that at being the place where it actually breaks above. You can see how we're below our mean in here, and I think that we're also trying to get back above the 20 SMA right through here. We're trying to get back above the 20 SMA. And by doing that, we'll also eliminate the bear div this time, because this time, right, this when we did it right here, we got a bear div right across here. We put in bearish divergence right across here between here and here. And that's what led us down to finally taking the liquidity off of this sell side. Yep, the sell side right here. So if it comes up this time, hopefully it's coming up properly. For both price action and momentum. I know that there is some slight resistance before it manages to get to this top. And that requires a closure. Just to be clear, requires a closure. Let me see if RSI is doing the same thing. Yeah, pretty much. We gotta get an explosive move on this. We need it. It doesn't look like we got that closure. We didn't get that closure on this either. We hit that standard deviation 1 and we rejected when I hollered out standard deviation 1 for river. So no closure above here yet. It tried a little, it looked like it was about to commit. That's why market structure change is so important. Oh. So I'm going to keep that stop where it is. I said I'll move it if we get the closure above here. We didn't get the closure above here. I hope this puts us in profit before the stream ends. Which I got a little bit more time to wait on these 3 setups. And these are just going to be the 3 today. River, Pendle, and Rose. I don't really have anything for Bitcoin. We already did the Bitcoin. Long setup was over the weekend. Taking that liquidity from the equal lows. There's nothing else I see in here I want to touch on Bitcoin at the moment. No reason. Too choppy. This technically, I don't know if I want to count that. The way I count it, this is still the valid break. I'm still holding this range. So let's go with it. I am going to give this until market opens, and I'll tell you again what I'm looking at in here. This is the golden pocket for Rose. Rose did take the liquidity. It's not a big liquidity sweep through this low right here. So unless we start to break the structure, it could stay sideways through here and then eventually get the break up. The way I count my structure is 2 up, 2 down, and it has to be 2 consecutively in the same direction. I'm talking about candle colors. It has to be 2 consecutively in the same direction. And I can't validate this unless I got 2 consecutively to the low. I have to have 2 consecutively down, and then if it flips up, then I can say Okay, then I can move it right here, but I have to have two consecutive down in order for me to move and say this is going to be where the structure is going to shift at for me. Yeah, this right here isn't enough for me. It has to be something like this. This had two consecutive up right here, and then this was the next one. So for me, this entire move right here is one leg to the upside, one push to the upside. It has to break above this level right here in order to shift the market structure. I like for it to stay tight like this. I don't like for it to get like the big candles over here, and then you sitting here waiting for a pullback before you can even take an entry. So I kind of like this tightness in here. So maybe the candles will remain, frigid, small, tiny like that. But otherwise, we'll lose this level right here, and I'll look down in here towards the 786. But the structure has to shift in here. The range can play this. I advise to wait on the rose long position just because of the 1 hour time frame. Because initially I did take the entry right here, and then we got the bear flag, and I was like, I can cut. I'm gonna cut it, and you can cut it too. Um, and I said advise. No, I don't give financial advice. It's just the 1 hour for me that looks kind of, you know, like it still got a little work. And I turned off the golden pocket 786, but you can see that that's where it is right now, golden pocket 786. And it's not getting a big reaction right now. It's holding, it's going sideways, but it's not getting a big reaction from here. And I only turned it off because I know this area that we're in. I already had it highlighted from yesterday. As far as Pendle is concerned, it does need to get, oh, it took that liquidity. It took it. For those who ignored me and kept their patience, congratulations. Because I said I'm FOMOing. I'm FOMOing in, and we really needed to get above this range right here. And that didn't happen. And I FOMO'd instead of waiting to see how we were going to do with the sweep of the equal low liquidity down here. And it might want to do the same thing when it comes to River. They may want to do that with River as well, unless we get that close above and we start to change the market structure for River. I'm okay though as far as how much I'm down here. And I said I was going to add into this drop right here. Let me look at the one. Make sure. So you do need this break right here. This is one swing up for me. You do need to be above this level right here. We may be expanding to the downside right now, which is what I didn't want to see. I'm going to go ahead and add onto this pendle position, though. I said I was going to do that if it came back down into here. We just rejected off of that standard one for pendle. I do classify this as the stop. That's 186 if you're on a Binance time frame. On a Binance chart. On a Binance chart, anyway. Like to see it come back up this low. Um, It's only a 0.64, so it's not bad in terms of the stop for this one. It's only a 0.64. You can raise that stop on it if you're going to take this. this grab right here. The reaction isn't that strong, to be honest. Got a little bit of a wick, but the reaction is not very strong so far, which means this candle can close and it can continue down. So I'm testing it, but I cannot guarantee that it holds. I cannot. I'm testing it. Still feels kind of slow. $4 minutes. Again, it still feels kind of slow. We're not even halfway into that candle. Like it hasn't even wicked halfway into that candle just yet. Uh-oh. Just trying to make sure I got that right. -3. This is just for me. -295. We are straight up failing that ability to get above that level. Looks like we just made another attempt. This could do again, like the equal lows in here. I mean, market loves that. I do have the alert set in here for it. It could. It could. Let me see what I'm just gonna check. We're not in this one right here. I don't have any interest in this one just yet. Just thinking about how low this could go. Some golden pocket. Let me just move this for a sec. See if this makes more sense. Still sideways right now. Let's see. I'm just gonna highlight some places this might start to stabilize. I'm just put it slightly. Yeah, that's fine. I'm being anal. It's my personality. Arrow still not coming through yet. And River's making another attempt. And Pendle's still trying to hold it. I was looking at the -3. It's -290 right now. It still was moving so slow. I don't know. I don't know about that. Don't have any liquidity through here. There was this, but there was this. But liquidity for the most part is going to be somewhere down through here. So I'm staying on the sideline for that one. Just still watching this right here. Yep. I can count this now, at least in about 12 minutes. I can come back and count this again, as long as it doesn't get like some. Why is it showing up on this chart? I meant to put that over here. Okay, so it did end up coming up a lot more on that candle. Thank goodness, because that just wasn't. Ugh. And just in case I have to share my loss later, just in case, because I've said that I'm in it and that I was going to add right there, but I never showed you that I was actually in the trade. So when I get wrecked, and hopefully I don't get wrecked, I get to add a nice little P&L card to the low of it. This is the pendle, and I did add, which I think I entered. I first entered. I think it was off of this candle right here, so I didn't have too far down here to add to that position. So my entry is still a good entry for it. And then River, I told you that I couldn't resist entering in on River, and it's been one of those things where I probably don't have the best entry on River. Uh, but I am in River just in case it does get that move up. That's River. So I am in River, hoping that we get this closure above here. It looks like we might do it this time. And so we have flip market structure in here on River. And I'm just waiting on Rose, which is why I pushed Rose to the sideline and said wait a little bit. But it's still holding this zone in here. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I just need to see the strength come in on it, and I'm not seeing it for this just yet. And I don't change my mind about this top, about being able to move your break to here unless I see two red candles to the downside. So, so far, this has just been. We don't have this anymore. Zigzags. We don't have zigzags anymore. We just got that. We do get it. It's really small. It's really small. It's like this is how I read this chart. Remember, I said my rule is two consecutive. There's nothing consecutive there, nothing there, nothing consecutive here. Boom, consecutive. Two consecutive down. two consecutive up, two consecutive down, two consecutive up, two consecutive down, two consecutive up, down, up. This is how I read this chart. Straight down, and then it starts to do this. And that's why this is the one that has to break above. That helps you find divergence too. Because you could have looked at this and been like momentum shift, and you don't actually have it because there was nothing through here. Bears were in control of that. Bulls tried to come in right here. Bears ran this entire situation right here. They tried to come in right here. Bulls did. Bears ran that entire situation right there. Bulls tried to step in again. Bear did. Here, slight bullish divvy. Slight bullish divvy. It looks like I'm going to be able to. I'm going to do it for now. If it's incorrect, I'm going to move it back. You know what? I need to let that candle confirm. It's already back to green. That way I don't have to keep moving it. Sorry. Check back on Pendle. Thank you, Pendle. Profits are locked on Pendle. Stop loss can be moved. You've already reached a 1-to-1. So that's a profits locked on Pendle for anybody who took the time to wait on that entry right there to take place. Then TP1 is in. TP1 is in. Just to guarantee that you don't have a losing trade. Stop can be raised if you want to raise that stop on it. I'm going to leave it, consistent here on the chart. I move my stop loss when I get into take profit, though. My personal stop loss, I move it. But, we would not want to see it come back down here and take out that candle. But you're above a 1-to-1 already. We're in here just in case we get a rejection again here. Profit should be locked on Pendle. even with this one, even though it has not come, let me make sure I can do this right. I'm gonna have to fix it, so bear with me. And just putting your price labels over here. I'm gonna drop this alert. So it's one less line on the chart. Let me fix this. You hit a 1-to-1 right here. Stop loss can be moved once that happens. And we've also got that closure above here. The stop loss can definitely be moved. But you will hit a 1-to-1 around 60 if you're using blow fin chart. Regardless of whether or not this candle closes. If it hits there, lock something in, and then at least we'll know market structure changed. And like I said, you should be able to move that stop. On still not getting that close. It's killing me. That is killing me. Because I want to move this stop. We're still chopping that standard deviation 1 every time we come up here and we get rejected. Let's see euros. Let's see. Dang, river. Right. And close the market open. We got Fed decision tomorrow. We have Fed decision. Today we didn't have anything impactful. We do have Donald Trump speaking today. It reads tentative, so it doesn't actually give a time for this. And let me refresh it just in case I missed something with it. Tuesday. Okay, so I had to refresh it. Donald Trump speaks today at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. today, our president will be speaking. And it reads low impact, but you know how that can go. Okay. So just know that he is speaking. If you're an American citizen, whether you're an American citizen or not, President Trump is speaking today at 4 p.m. We have some medium impact information coming out, Richmond manufacturing and consumer confidence at 10. Tomorrow is the big day. We have Fed funds rate. We have FOMC statement. Okay, press conference 2:30. Fed funds rate decision at 2 p.m. Um, we'll see. I haven't looked at poly market. Actually, I never look at poly market, so I don't know. Uh, it probably stay the same. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I can't count this top right now. I don't have a top to count without two red down. It stays this top. Um, Still not getting any curvature on that river. Bitcoin did manage to keep chopping that trend line that I hate. It double bottomed on Bitcoin, so if market opens, it could come back for this low. It could. What did we ever do with the CME gap? We never filled in the gap. Still got this gap to be filled. We still have this one up here as well. We had that little common gap right there. Price came back in on that. We are breaking. No, no, buddy. I don't subscribe to that. It has to be this one. We can say double bottom, but still got this gap to be filled. Doesn't have to be filled, but we still got that gap. This could be a bear div. Just against this high. It is. Why? Because this is noise. Chop this line a lot and delete it. Come back to it. Hold on, what were we looking like over here? Neutral. Neutral. On Bitcoin was neutral. It looks like we could be coming down here for that liquidity because we didn't get that close up here. Um, we could be coming back down here to take out this liquidity. And again, watch out for that on Bitcoin too. 5 minutes till market opens. Can't come back down there and take that liquidity. I'm telling you right now, we can't. Unless we get close above 88,555, we can come back down and take out that double bottom liquidity on Bitcoin. You also got another double bottom. Sorry. You also got another double bottom in here. Well, actually, it took that liquidity right there, so you don't have a double bottom. You would just have this little wick liquidity down here. But this right here can definitely come back, and they can come back and take this right here. Everything through here we're looking at for this double bottom is noise, and this looks like fair game. In my opinion, unless we closing above here, they might come back and do this number right here. Take that. Might even consider this, but definitely come back in and take that. And then if they want to, they can push us up back above this level, back above there. But I'm just going to say this right here for the time being. Then they could do that. Then you can get a legit double bottom. So legitimacy to this. This doesn't look right. Not by my standards. It doesn't. It looks like noise. So they might come back in here and get me. Said all that to say they'll probably come back in here and get me on this right here. And finally come into this golden pocket. Potentially even what we looked at here for this daily level right here, which I hope we don't come that low. We're still chopping that 20 SMA in here, the 1 hour time frame. It was the one good trade we got today. Pendle. Pendle. I don't think I overreached. 3 to 1 probably already was hit. I didn't mark it out. I'm sure it did a 3 to 1 when it did that. I could move this back. I'm just gonna see. Yeah. So that was a 3 to 1 right there. Risk to reward. The rest would just be a runner for you. We'll put it back like I had it though. I can't tell if we actually expand it. That's gonna end up, yeah, that nasty little wick right there after hitting the bottom side of the cloud. No expansion as far as this is concerned. Usually when this stops out, like this stops out ahead of this right here, you can look for something like that, and then an attempt for it to come back down below it. Because we got it at this point. Yeah, I definitely would. Uh, like I said, 3-1 was hit. It's just a matter of it getting into the lows in here. Um, Finding a runner, but it's not committing. It's not committing. I'm gonna check the Bollinger just to see if it actually expanded or if we got a V shape on that Bollinger. We should have. No, we didn't. See, we didn't. We didn't. I could tell we didn't get the V shape. We closed outside of that Bollinger, but we didn't get the V shape. When you get a V shape, you know you really got a powerful move. We didn't get the V shape. I wouldn't consider that to be it. That doesn't happen right now. I could tell from this. That's probably we didn't get that V. All right. Market is open. Market is open. Bitcoin. And I'm gonna go. I appreciate you being here. I'm down to crypto TA. I really, really, really love this. I love trading. I love reading the charts. I love interacting. A lot of people don't interact with me, but I love it. I love when somebody comes in and gives me something new. You see, I'm kind of like stuck on those new coins that I was given. Because I don't tend to go through and try to find stuff. I usually just stick to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, the big dogs. Uh, but yeah, like I said, this could be noise. Didn't really get, I mean, this looks like noise in here. Looks like noise. So, I mean, they can choose to come back down here for this liquidity unless it gets a closure above here. And then that's something different. But they can choose to come back down here for this liquidity. If I'm correct, and this is noise, they don't come back for it. But the market just opened, no commitment so far on any sort of a break to the upside there. Remember what I said on Rose, and watch for that. If you're looking to take the Rose, take a Rose long position. Possibility of that 786 is on the table. We're still holding that golden pocket, so we're still going sideways. We're still going sideways. So that break remains that break until then. Um, just watch for it. Just watch for it. Same thing with river. If you're really looking for river, like I entered, I'm back down. I am back down on river, so they might come in here and you know kill me. They might come back in. I'm still right now. This is still noise for me. But if we get that close above here, then that's going to be a little different. I can see the momentum change in here. It looks like we come to some sort of resolution. But don't forget that golden pocket is still down here. We're reacting to the a daily level through here. That's what we're reacting to. Yesterday, let me see. Yesterday's low. So yesterday's daily low is what we're reacting to in here. And this actually did double bottom. This actually double bottom, but we haven't confirmed the break of the neckline. We haven't confirmed it because we haven't got a close above it. So we confirm this double bottom when we get that closure above here. And right now, we don't have that closure. Right now, you can see. Dang it, I forgot it's hard to see like that. Right now, we have not confirmed that closure above that neckline. Line bias, sure, but and not here, not on this candle. I need to see it on the candle. And rose is falling. But I gotta go. It's been fun. You know what to look for if you're interested in that. Interested in Santos, which might at some point do something. I don't like it right in here. I really like down through here. You got a little liquidity in here. You really, I mean, this is about the only liquidity. I really don't like that. But it is a golden pocket. If you want to play, psychological level, then it would be this right here. It just started to get that, just got that breakdown below this low right here. So anything in here could be lackluster, could come back up here, back test, reject. Somewhere around here looks pretty good, especially since you'll be taking some liquidity that looks a lot better right in here. Even this one right here, if this one happens and it takes that liquidity from there, and then this gets used like an order block or something, then you could possibly get a trade from within here instead. But I don't like it because it just broke down right there. It could choose to continue, so that's something to watch for. It could throw out some sort of a good trade at some point. 4 hour and daily still looks good. So corrective, still corrective right now. So that's something to look for. Nope, nope, nope. Nothing there. And I don't think I'm gonna look at this. This is hard on me. I don't like that. I'm gonna just put pay back up here somewhere. I'm gonna start separating the meme coins from everything else. Um, but yeah, that does it. That does it for me. Wow. Wow. Yeah, no follow through on that breakout. Can't continue to watch this level in here though. Golden pocket, lose that golden pocket, then check out that 786. This is I don't think that there's yeah. Rose is falling. But that's it. That's it. Rose is falling. I said I didn't have a pivot. Not yet. I won't be able to make it one until this candle right here closes. Well, might be this 786 in here after all. Like I was saying, 786. I'll throw something in on X. If something starts to look different, I'll throw it on X. Appreciate you. Love you. Bye.